The Halloween season came early in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and you know what that means. It's time for treats. Oh boy, what did I get? Ooh, I got some nerd clusters. Those will come in handy. And ooh, I got some catnip. That's an odd gift. It's a good thing I have a cat. And ooh, to stay awake when it really comes to Halloween, I got an energy drink. And wait, there's one final gift, and I got a rock. But you know what? This rock still moves better than Bubba Ray Dudley in 2024. I know they were close to Philadelphia, but what the fuck? You couldn't have found RVD, or maybe somebody that didn't resemble Walking VD? Nevertheless, I'm John Rentham with my review WWE NXT Halloween Havoc 2024. And if you have come here for expert, in-depth analysis, honestly, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm just going to have some fun. Yes, it is almost time for Halloween, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun talking about this show that this really should have not been ran in a 10,000 seat arena. I'm sorry, they had about 5,000 people there, and the crowd was making some noise, at least for a while. They were mostly cheering the furniture. So I decided to review this due to the fact that people wanted me to. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I like some of the people on the card, and maybe some good things will happen. This was a very mundane show. This was almost like a weekly edition of NXT, just hyped up a little bit, just in front of a bigger crowd. I mean, really, because nothing of note really occurred, at least nothing worthy, like worthy of a big arena. So, Bubba Ray and Dave something or other, LaGreca, or whatever the hell, LaGreca Roman, I forget his exact name, but he's a shouty guy on Busted Open Radio. So, Shotzi, Scarlett, Otis, and Dominic did some scary, spoopy, haunted house stuff. I hope that Shotzi's doing all right. I know she suffered a knee injury, and I know that she was very upset because her sister was battling cancer, at least last time. Last time I checked, hopefully her sister's beating it. Hopefully she is. NXT will be at the former ECW arena on the day after Election Day, which hopefully means that maybe things will be set right totally. So that being said, I might review that one. I don't know. That's going to be NXT and Dynamite going head-to-head. Okay, so we have a spin the wheel, make the deal thing. And yeah, we have Ava there along with Kalani and Fatal Influence. That is Fallon Henley, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, totally forgot, was pulling a Homer Simpson, and the rest. Kalani will face him in a gauntlet match. We have a Chase U video package. Sarah talks to Cora and Roxanne. My word, they are embracing this heel turn. Ridge then basically confronts Bubba Ray Dudley. He confronts him twice. You can stop trying to make Ridge Holland happen. It is not going to happen. So, Vic Joseph welcomes us. Unfortunately, Booker T is there too. More on him in a bit. Gigi Dolan hyped up the show. Looking very good, I will say. And goofy stuff on the stage, including an ambulance straight out of the Ecto 1 phase. Kind of a minimalist ambulance straight out of It Lives by Night, the MST3K episode. We have a swing, we have skeletons, and we have other stuff. Look, I know that WCW had the gargoyle with the giant pumpkin, stuff like that. And you can have some goofiness. The problem is they went overly gimmicky here. Now, why can't Booker T do commentary correctly? I was having to mute my television quite often I was cutting out the crowd, but good God, if somebody just can't tell Booker, please actually try to sound like something other than an AI program having a series of strokes. He ruins the show. Vic Joseph's having to call this on his own. Have Big E come in. Big E is glib. He can be entertaining. He can be over the top, but still call a match. Booker T refuses to. Booker T, next to, I would say, Menard, is actually my least favorite commentator in all of wrestling. Oba Femi took on Tony D'Angelo in a tables, ladders, and scares match for the North American Championship. The only scare was the fact that they thought this was a good idea. Look, weapons-filled matches can work. They just didn't hear. Is pinfall or submission only? The barricade breaking spot used to mean something. It doesn't anymore. I don't care who the fuck does it. We get multiple chairs and ladders being broken. This is everything wrong with wrestling. I don't care what company it's part of. Stupid bumps in a match that no one will remember in 3 days. There was a crowbar in the mouth. What Devon Storm did to deserve that, I don't know. They zip-tied D'Angelo, or Oba did, and then suddenly the family shows up. And they kept teasing that I think... Rizzo, I think is her name. Whatever. That Oba was going to spike her, and honestly, that would have gotten a pretty big pop, and she probably would have been willing to take the bump, and Oba could have taken care of her. But no, we get a spear through the ladder, the painted ladder. Stop doing that shit and filming the ladder that close. It's very obviously a painted ladder. A table bump after the family tag teams Oba 1, 2, 3. This match felt like a hate crime, and a hate crime against wrestling. So Tony D'Angelo retained. Get Oba to take on Trick and take him out. And nothing against Trick. I like Trick, but Oba should be the NXT champion before too long. A Cody package, and then Lexus King apparently thinks that is a good look. He apparently is on the same drugs that his late mother was on. William Regal will be in his corner because it's going to be a Heritage Cup match, for that trophy. That means fuck all in 2024. And Charlie Dempsey, a.k.a. Regal's son, is the champion. So, we get Day of the Dead, Stephanie Vaquer, or Vaquer. I don't know how everybody pronounces it differently. Julia, my goodness. Cora and Roxanne were resembling the Shining Twins. If the Shining Twins were on opposite sides of the working spectrum, look, I don't hate Cora like other people do. I think Cora has a good look. I think Cora tries. I've liked her since seeing her on AEW programming as Elena Black. She had a serious knee injury, and this is her first match back. So I get there might be ring rust. You needed the 10 man's oil can, for God's sakes, because, oh boy, she was being outshined like crazy. And people will point out that she's young, and she can get better. She can. But good grief, that was a stiff senton. Roxanne is a year younger than her and way far ahead. Cora and Julia were they were having to dumb down what they could do. And it was noticeable. Bless Cora. I don't hate Cora, but I can't ignore it. I just fucking can't. So there was that point where basically Stephanie, I believe, it was either Roxanne or Cora, and trapped her head in her knees and did the thump down and everything with her knees. And me next. I don't have issues. You guys have issues. Double submissions. Roxanne certainly tried to carry this. Cora did do a coffin drop to the outside. That was nice based on the interaction that her and Darby had. Where Darby didn't come out looking all that great. And then a spiral tap by Stephanie. 1, 2, 3. Roxanne got pinned. Okay. I was a bit surprised Roxanne took the pin. And then Delta Burke, Zarya is here, not Delta. She's here. And, alright. Just standing there like a mixture of Beth Phoenix and Jordan Grace. I'm not saying that she ripped off the look. It's just that's the first thing I thought of. I've only seen clips of what Delta/Zarya can do. And she has a good look. A very good look. And DIY, Mia Yim and others are feeling the Boogeyman's head in a box, not knowing what it is. The Boogeyman is 60 years old. Good on him. Seriously, good on him. The man basically looks the same. This was what it was. It was just a time killer. And then Cedric and Javon Evans apparently are going after the tag titles. Where is Ashante Diodonis? Did he get injured? Did he get released? Did he get sucked into the void, motherfucker? So, more Bubba and Dave. Why is Chase U still a thing? I'm genuinely asking this because it is one of the worst gimmicks that has been perpetrated on this program. I'm not even knocking Andre Chase. Not even knocking Thea. I'll knock the hell out of Ridge Holland because he's a fucking weirdo that, he got way too much hate for accidentally dropping Big E on his head. He didn't mean to. But he's also bland and uninteresting and will never get over. I will be dead in the ground and Ridge will not be over. Which hopefully won't be for a number of years, but you never know. So, Ridge shows up in a stupid mummy guard mask for no reason. The Ecto-1 ambulance was off-putting. Andre Chase came out in a Kruger shirt, but this was more like the 2010 version of Nightmare on Elm Street, aka the really bad one. And then they proceeded to have an ambulance match that made me wish that this entire creative staff had been put in an ambulance. You know, it's funny. I think Shawn Michaels' vision should be sent to the hospital. Maybe they can scare him straight. I'm sorry. So, this was really bad, really boring. A DDT on the floor and Ridge won. Terrible. Just fucking terrible. And then Nikita package. She was fighting for her life to pronounce multidimensional correctly. Fraser and Axiom Verge are arguing because Fraser has a temper. I thought he got saved by that bullshit church, so he shouldn't have a temper. Except it's a bullshit church. Read up on Nathan Fraser and the church that he, got saved in. You'll understand why I said that. So, Dawn Marie apparently is going to be the special guest referee for Lola Vice versus Jada Parker at the Philly show. And after the bullshit way that Dawn Marie got fired in 2005, I'm glad they're making up with her. I also fear that she is one of the people that got paid off by Vince. I'm just guessing. Just blue skying it here. Not talking about blue sky, but I am on blue sky, by the way. So, Kalani Jordan took on Fatal Influence in a gauntlet match. One, she beats that one, then the second one. She beats that one, then the third one. She beats that one, and I don't know. They all three get in there, and she has to pin them all at once, like she's Sid Vicious. Rest in peace. And a goddamn handicap match. So, it's for the North American Women's Championship, and boy, Kalani and Jasmine, and bless Jasmine, I'm sure she's trying. Some of these people are not ready for TV. They just fucking aren't. And that's proven when they're in front of big crowds like this. I imagine Jasmine was nervous. I'm glad they're trying to elevate people, but this didn't work. JC came out next. JC should be on the main roster. She got pinned, hit a roaring elbow. Then Fallon Henley came out. I didn't hate this match, but this felt like a TV match. She smacked her right in the boobies. Ouch. The crowd tried to come alive. Some people were chanting, "This is awesome." I don't know if they were trying to convince themselves or just trying to say, "Are we still alive?" Nope, we're all dead. We're all dead. You've been wasted because this match does feature the youth of America. God bless NXT USA America. I don't know why I said it like that. So, lame referee distraction by Jasmine, and then JC does something. Just enough so, after a 450 attempt, Fallon Henley hits the Shining Wizard and wins. Okay, Fallon Henley beating Kalani Jordan. Kalani held on to the title after becoming the first North American Women's Champion for a few months? Was it June? June or July? It was one of the... She's held on to it for a bit. Okay, fine. Not all title reigns need to go too long. And then suddenly... I like Fallon, don't get me wrong, but statement made, and then suddenly Zarya shows up and beats them all up. That's the second time the lights went out, by the way, so they really did learn something from Heyman. Whatever. It is what it is. So, yeah, Ridge and Bubba are going to have a match in Philly. Probably a tag match based on the finish of this. Tatum comes out of a box. And then Tatum basically spins the wheel to have a match against Wendy. It's going to be a casket match. That's fitting because the Wendy Chu gimmick has basically been dead ever since they brought it on. So, Ethan Page is in another main event. I will never know peace. He seems like a nice guy. He works hard. He is uninteresting to me. They had a match, a Devil's Playground match. I sense overbooking. I sense bullshit. And I got both. So, we got the usual weapon stuff. They went into the crowd after a pumpkin on the head thing. Well, that's something Nick Goulas would have done. Well, the difference is Nick Goulas drew money. And if people get that, then you know what I'm talking about. So, a bad 3 count stop. Good job, ref. The commentary having to cover that. Vic having to cover it. Well, Booker, I don't think, has been able to count to 3 for the last 10 years. So, there's a bump into a bag of nuts and bolts. That's one thing that Foley needs to share the lion's share of the blame for, is the fact that he did the thumbtack spot. And everybody thought, oh, he could just bring a bag out. And it's good. It's not. It's not fucking good at all. Trick ends up finally winning after the trick shot. And then Ridge attacks. And then Ethan gets upset at him and says, if you're going to attack him, do it right. And then Bubba shows up. Their fucking show goes off the goddamn. By the way, Bubba, I have seen tranquilized rhinoceroses that cannot goddamn move. Rhinoceri, whatever the plural is. That could move better than Bubba. And I know he's broken down. Here's the thing. You don't get back in the ring when you're broken down. That motherfucker couldn't even move that well in 2014. He just couldn't. So now he's 10 years older. But we have to boost the, visibility in Philly. Book a bigger building instead of that frickin' rundown bingo hall. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And no, this is not a return to form for weekly NXT. I will probably try to record the Philly show, and because I'm going to be reviewing Dynamite, so we'll see if I end up doing dueling reviews. And we'll see what happens the night before on those. Maybe people will actually be smart, and we will actually have a proper election go. And things can work good, and we can move forward instead of backwards. Don't support goddamn apartheid-supporting motherfuckers. Anyway, so agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description, and letterbox handle in the description. I'm John Ritland, and if you come at me for those goddamn opinions, you're gone. I'll see you soon.